So if I am using, let me install spin button also. Now since I am using all these cells in the A8, A9 and A10, I believe whatever change happens in the A1 cell or C1 cell, the same change you will see in the cells where we are using these particular instructions. So I would like to install a spin button over here just to see the impact of change that it will have on the output, on maybe in the C8 or B8 or A8. So let me install spin button now. So I'll simply click on that. The path will remain same. We go to developer option. In developer, we go to insert. In insert, we can select any form control that we are wanting to have it. So when I click on that, you will see that the plus sign will be inserted over here in that place where you want to insert it, right? And this will appear like that, and I have to right click the mouse and get form control box. So this box will actually allow me to set the values, the current value, the minimum value, the max value, and the incremental change which I want to have in this particular cell, right? So if I say the current value to be 0, so let's have current value as 5. No, let it be 0 only, because it is already 5. Minimum value I can say is 5, and max value I can say as 10, right? And the cell link, please remember, I can give any cell which I want to link it with this particular button. So as of now, I will link C1, and I do that. And when I press up our arrow or down arrow, we see the change in the cell and the corresponding change in the output as well. Hey, it's not doing. It's doing now because the minimum value is 5. We kept that as 5. So that is why when I click the down arrow, it will stay at 5 and it will not go below that. But certainly when I press the up arrow, you will see that the value of C1 is changing and the corresponding change is happening in the C8, C9, C10 and C11, because all these cells are using this C8 has used C1, C9 has used C8, C10 has used C9, and accordingly we have used the previous cell in the next cell. So all cells will change as and when I change a value in the C1. Similarly, I could have also given any other cell over here. So if I just re-click on form control, I can also mention over here, see, I don't want to give this, so I simply delete that and I want to mention maybe this B2, right? So if I now, let me also do some change over here with respect to the minimum value. So I say minimum value is say 5 is 0, and max value I can also, you can also see the spin buttons are also used over in this form control box also. So I can easily increase and decrease the value of minimum value, max value and incremental change. So I will use the spin button for this to increase the value, right? So I'll say okay to that, and when I say increase or decrease, a corresponding change is happening in the B column, if you can notice very carefully. Similarly, if I decrease the value, it will decrease and it will go, earlier it was 9 if I remember, and it will go down till 0, because 0 is the minimum value that we have defined over here in the spin box, right? Similarly, I can easily give any cell over here. So if I just go back to this and I'd say this particular cell, I can give that also, right? So for this, please remember, this will actually work for the A5 cell and not for A1 cell, right? So it actually depends on me which cell I want to link with the button. So depending on that, that particular cell will only change on the click of that button, right? So that was all for the spin button and the command button. Let me do something more with this. We can also have, we have scroll bar as well. Let me see that. We have that. Let me just click on that. And we have this over here. Right? Now I have to, please remember, if I, it will increase and decrease but it will not show the increase or decrease in the value. Reason being, we haven't linked this button to any cell. So I right click the mouse, I go to form control, and in form control I define the values. I say the current value is 33, I can change it. Minimum value is coming out to be 0, that's okay, and maximum value is coming out to be 100. And now it will ask me the incremental change which I want to have. Price page change, it is by default by 10, and cell link, I can relate this with any cell. So if I just relate with this cell and I say okay to that, let's see what happens. So if I simply, press this particular arrow, you will see that it will start decreasing. And even the bar, if you can see, is moving on the say in the same direction. But if I move the last arrow, the end arrow, you will see that the bar will start scrolling towards the other direction. So that is the only difference that we have over here, the pictorial representation of increase or decrease of the value that we want to show in the Excel sheet, right? We can also have this as, let me wait. I can also increase or decrease the size of this. So earlier, when, and I can easily do that by resizing it. So if I do like this, it will be a vertical scroll bar, but it can be horizontal as well depending on the choice. I think previous one was better representing, so I would want to go back to the original shape which I was having for the scroll bar, right? Let me just resize it. Like this. So I can do that. I can resize, make it vertical scroll bar or make it a horizontal scroll bar. Okay. So that was all about having a pictorial automated tool that you can use to increase or decrease a particular value which is stored in a cell that you have to link with the button. And only when you link that with the button, and when you increase or decrease the maybe the scroll bar, or you move the spin button up or down, that particular value which is stored in that cell will be showing that particular change, and all other cells which are having some relation with that original cell will also show the change in the equal manner. So like we have seen, when we were making change in C1 or B1, the same change was being shown in all other cells where we are using this particular cell in summation or in multiplication or in any other calculation. The other thing that we did was, you go to insert again. It's very simple that way. You have to just insert and have to know the functioning. Next, I can also use the label form, and label form is basically used to define a particular name of this particular row. So I say the row. I can say the amount. Or no, let me say price row. I can make it bold. Okay, another thing which I want to tell, you see that this particular box where we are writing this name is, wait, I would like to go back to it. So wait a minute, I'm just checking one thing. Okay. Yes. So I was looking for the label. You can only, there is no way to connect this with any cell. You can only change the height, width. You can change the scale. You can size it on you, or you can rotate it. But you can't link it with any cell because there is no option available over here. So that means you will have to write this particular label in front of the row or the column which you want to label, or that you want to name. So like I want to name this A5 row. So I have to place this label on this row just to highlight that this particular row is called as the price row, right?